week of my journal for Politics of Africa. It's week 14. It's about superpowers in Africa, the Chinese in Africa. So this is going to be a relatively short video because the Gambia, unlike a lot of other African nations, lacks valuable internal sources of natural resources. And so external powers really haven't extorted the Gambia because of this, because it really can't be extorted because there's no large deposits of any mineral or metal or oil in the Gambia. It's partly due to it being such a small country. However, the U.S. Hasn't really interacted with the Gambia, and in this way, it's different from other African countries. I think it's because the Gambia is so small. A lot of just countries aren't interested in it. The Gambia does do a fair amount of trade with China, but that is just based on, exports. It's not, China isn't really coming in and doing anything like it has done in other countries by completely taking over, building infrastructure and the such. However, the Gambia has a pretty strong and positive relationship with its European allies. It receives a lot of aid from Europe. It has a deal with the EU and has just freed up 36 or 33 million dollars, or 33 million euros of aid from the EU, which is great. It's because of the new president being implemented and his promise for democracy. And so in this way, Africa has a lot of interactions with Europe, which in its own respect is a superpower. As far as the Gambia going outside of its own country, it has sent peacekeeping forces to work with the UN and other countries in Africa, but really it's kind of isolated. It does trade with Senegal, but the superpowers, the Chinese, really aren't involved in the Gambia's internal affairs or external affairs for that matter. So I'd just like to thank Professor for an amazing class, and this is my last journal. So thank you.